Word up, man. Voting ain't gonna help us, man. Marching ain't gonna help us, man. Protesting ain't gonna help us, man.
What it's like for a nigga like me. 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 Gray skies overhead, this isn't looking likely, but I try to do the right thing like Spike Lee, and I talk to God, the one and almighty. Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. Yeah.
Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me.
Have mercy on
Man, this shit ain't no joke, man, this shit ain't no joke. Like the boy cried wolf, I ain't blowing no smoke. You don't gotta look far to see it ain't no hope in this fucked up world. I'm just trying to stay afloat. I grew up in the ghetto in the middle of the streets, Hell, the belly of the beast. Thanksgiving came around, I wasn't having no feast when the landlord talking about breaking out lease. Goddamn, what's next? My girl broke up with your boy and she did it in a text that if I couldn't have nothing that I could have love besides love for the money and selling these drugs. Sometimes it seems like it's the only way out, but every day I'm getting older and it's getting played out. Can't end up in a pen trying to find a way out. Lord, forgive me for my sins, for my heart gave out. My dad died, biggest loss I ever had to take. He a big part of the reason I'm the man I am today. And moving on was a move I wasn't trying to make, but I got sons now, so I gotta lead them not astray. And even though success is looking unlikely, I stay mighty and pray nightly and remain doing the right thing like Spike Lee, which is hard in this life for a nigga like me. All my life I had to fight like my name's Sophia. Always had heart and in my heart was no fear. Boy, I stayed in some trouble always stayed near. When you black in America, that's all you cold here, I can't lie. Some days I wanna break down and cry for me and my people that's fighting to stay alive. Cause living ain't living when you live it to survive. Yes, we living in hell till the heavens arrive. Nah, I mean,
what it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me. Gray skies overhead, this isn't looking likely, but I try to do the right thing like Spike Lee, and I talk to God, the one and almighty. Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. Yeah.
Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. What it's like in this life for a nigga like me. Every day I gotta fight my demons. Wake up, thank God I'm breathing. Cause all nightmares, America's dreaming. Trying to find a way to make it while surrounded by heathens. No stress long as I got a coat and I'm eating. I'm blessed and I know the Most High's the reason. But my heart's bleeding, through my sleeve is seeping. For all the things that I've been peeping. Type of shit make you say fuck it and sleeping. Cause while you were sleeping during the evening, for brothers got gunned down over the weekend. Stretched out in the streets left leaking. Laid out white sheet, mom's grieving. All lives gotta have more meaning than another nigga dead in the paper I'm reading. Baby mama bitching every time that she's speaking. Talking like she gonna take the kids as she's leaving. How we go from kids to ending up in the deep end. Sink or swim, lose or win, saint or sin. Where does the change begin? And when does the bullshit end? Cause I wake up in the morning, gotta do it again. Go to sleep, go to work and just do it again. Damn. Can't pretend, cause when you stand out, it's hard to blend. And what I stand for, don't fold the bend. Cause I heard real folks still got too many friends. Cause when you speak the truth, then you tend to offend. So, while I'm gripping this pen, Lord, please have mercy on me, amen.
It's time for my people to come together and rise up. The only way we gonna take our royalty back, man, is if we do just that, man. Take it back. Kwam Yashala, nigga. Time for us to rise out of our oppression. A wise man told me each one teach one. So I need you to reach out to your brothers and sisters and teach them, man. There's no reason we should still be getting hung from trees in this day and age, man. Lord, please have mercy on me.
I put on for my city, even more for my company. The war might get ugly, fight it until we comfortably sitting in position, our faces all on our currency. Fuck the opposition, we cooking them like an oven bee. Wanna be a soldier, I show you, just come and fuck with me. Put you on to that fly living with fly fringes, fly women and fly linen that vibe with us. Ride with us, cause if you down, you die with us. Come supersize and serve with fries, nigga. Got a spaz on them, the only way that I do it. I keep the flow fluid, pull up in the beige Buick, hop out with the same type mask that Bane uses. Me, I was born in the dark, we changed to it. Rappers went soft out here when he raised music. Stayed true with no skinny jeans or tight blazers. Beam on the chopper like a lightsaber. Gear like a Jedi, power as Darth Vader. Shot, giving you double like bar waiters. Cutting off haters, traders, no more favors. They wanna get with us, we making them sign waivers. I don't make trap rap, this is that plea of cat rap. Do it for them niggas, Mossberg up in they backpack. They tired of the projects, feeling just like a lab rat. Second from the Pyrex, wondering where the cash at. But we passed that, I'm just telling you what I'm mad at. Remember, used to seal them things tight in the glad wrap. So my demographic is soldiers that had it tragic. Pistol in the package of dreams of living lavish. No family, no team, but had to manage. We get them off the streets and get them niggas established. Getting back to business and getting rid of you faggots. No homo, where I ride a Caposo Polo. Cause we out here battling dragons but not Komodo. The type that choke Eric Gardner while others snapping photos. The demons that portray Von Martin up in the coffin. Coming for my portion, so hand it over with caution.
Cut all your antics and semantics, now I'm going rampant. With verses written by the hand of God like 10 commandments. These booty bandits in a panic and they acting frantic. The world's tired of that GMO, they want organic. A biohazard to a bastard, situation tragic. This an invasion like we landed from another planet. A boss volcanic, always classic, you don't want no static. With so much flow to flood your city like that bitch Atlantis. Psychosomatic, dynamic, cut from another fabric. The Lord's bringing justice, vengeance flow like an Hispanics. White folks are manic, satanic in all their ways and tactics. 400 years of oppression is crossing the Atlantic. The systematic practice got us all ass backwards. He kills us all and acts like we're the real savage. Please excuse me, I'm about to make another status. Fuck America, hashtag no white life matters. They want our head like John the Baptist. White America, been afraid of the black fist. Our trackless, got us on the FBI blacklist. Price is coming back to knock the world off its axis. Try to sleep on me and I'm flipping over your mattress. Iverson flow, just go, I skip practice. You fake with bitch tendencies, nigga, you an actress. Things just ain't the same for rappers. Ever since the game got taken over by these crackers. Culture thieves, blood-sucking demons, Count Dracula. It's time to flip it back like a spatula. Spectacular vernacular, rhymes that'll damage her. Sucker MCs can't contend, don't got the stamina. They only in it for the cheese like a lab rat. These niggas been ducks. Flat flow so sick, gotta approach me with a hazmat. We spit that raw hardcore, you scared of the backlash. Wanna clash, homie, we can crash like the NASDAQ. Our people royalty and we about them like ASCAP. Why you trash rap, matter of fact, you can ask that. Right? We're independent, taking over, we don't rock with you. So they want a nigga taken out like the Apocrypha. Don't think I won't hit you cause I'm popular. Ty War been ready for war and so is Katiza.
T-Mobile is your new choice in coverage and value. We've been investing billions to bring our award-winning 5G network to small towns like yours.
For homicide detectives, the clock starts ticking. The moment they are called, their chance of solving a murder is cut in half if they don't get a lead within the first 48 hours.
I do anything to keep my brothers safe. I'm putting food on my daughter's plate. You fucking losers, y'all just can't relate. You harm them, you will find me on the verse 48. You will find me on the verse 48. Find me on the verse 48. I do anything to keep my daughters safe. You harm them, you will find me on the verse 48. Sitting in that room, hear the interrogator's voice. They asking why I do it, I tell them I had no choice. Couldn't take a threat or a risk to my family, so throw the book at me, I take them charges happily. Ain't no need for no polygraph, so forensics. I put that fucker in a body bag, I'll admit it. Fuck a sentence or the jury that will convict me. They don't understand, it's my family, they represent me. So for them, I risk my freedom, roll the dice. I ain't got much more for you crackers, go ahead and give me life. You don't know what it's like for the people that you love. They ain't there to give salutes, they ain't there to give you hugs. The same that done pulled me from the dirt and from the mud is gone because of who? Y'all rather shed your blood. My brother's kids like my other kids. If you touch them, fuck around, get another bid. Plus 10, put me in the Supermax. I get super jacked, working out every day. Canteen super stack, cool with that. Long as it mean my daughter's safe, my brother's winning, that's a chance I take. Seal my fate. I do anything to keep my brothers safe. Brothers safe. I'm putting food on my daughter's plate. Daughter's plate. You fucking losers, y'all just can't relate. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48. I got wives that done gave they all to stand beside me. Kids that can't see me fall, look at me proudly. Respected by men with honor up on their names. You harm one of them, I promise that you'll see pain. I'm one West train, made an oath to uphold it. Stood with my back against the wall, never folded. Grew up in the city where the love ain't brotherly. I ain't had too many friends, I ain't need the company. I'm my father's son, so I'm cool, just don't fuck with me. I say that you my homie, you're my brother, then you stuck with me. Never turn my back on mine, it's to the dirt. You cross them across that line, I end you first. What only make it worse is loyalty hard to find. Never think cause you out of sight, you out of mind. And I don't mind dying now, cause reincarnation got me coming back. Same scars in my heart aching. Be parlaying with killers from all places. Every last one of them for me a broad day shit. So what you think, I won't do it for them? Once they let me out the cell, shit, I do it again. It's for the family. I do anything to keep my brothers safe. Brothers safe. I'm putting food on my daughter's plate. Daughter's plate. You fucking losers, y'all just can't relate. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48. 48. Find me on the first 48. 48. Find me on the first 48. I do anything to keep my people safe. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48.
It's rolling on it, what is it?
All right. Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. You know what I'm saying, man? And we're in Killeen, Texas. This is the Tuesday night Brotherhood class. Let's give the Lord a hand. You know what I'm saying? I'm with the priests and prophets of Killeen, Texas right now. We got OPPRESSOR, Bunzion, and Kalkazai in the building, as well as the sister. And tonight my topic is how the oppressor has brotherhood for his own people. Why don't we have it for ourselves, man? Right. You know what I'm saying? Very, very recently, I believe this week, there was a police officer who was getting a firearm pointed at him, a loaded firearm pointed at him by a military vet. And, usually in any other case, if this was a black man or a Hispanic man or a Native American man, that brother would have been shot down without question. If he had something that just appeared to be a firearm in his hands. But you know what this police officer did? Being able to relate to that man in front of him, because they were both Caucasian. They were both mountain men. Because he can look into that man's skin tone and into his blue eyes that are a lot like his, and he can look at him as something more than just an animal and a slave. He didn't shoot him dead, man. You know what I'm saying? And he stood there for damn near 45 minutes so he could talk that brother down from his firearm, so that he could try to save that brother's life. So he didn't, that white oppressor's life, instead of having to do his police duty and shoot him. That's what his job would be, to maintain public safety and to maintain the safety of his life. If somebody's pointing a firearm at him and he feels endangered, he is by rights and by the laws of America able to kill that man right there where he stands. But he didn't do that. He looked at the things that the man was wearing, and he affiliated himself with the man. He related to the man. He saw that man was a veteran, and he looked at him more than just an assailant and more than a criminal. Now, black men, black brothers, black, Hispanic, and Native American people, the problem with us is we are looking for that same kind of attention. We want this murderer, this oppressor, and this rapist to not look at us as slaves anymore and to look at us as anything less than an animal. We want him to look at us as human beings and see the pain and the grief and the horrid things that go on in our life and understand us like he understood this this white man here about a week ago. But that's something you're not going to get from your oppressor. That's something you're never going to get from the man who causes the pain that you experience in your life.
Right.
The drugs that are in your neighborhood come from him and his people.
Right.
The goddamn them slaughtering us in the streets by staggering numbers comes from him and his people. The cover-ups, him and his people. Because none of them, as a system and a body of people and as a nation, look at us as anything other than a curb, a goddamn speed bump on the side of the road to be ran over, man.
Right.
We are nothing to these people, and we have to realize that so that we can look at each other and realize we got to look at the black man next to us as more than what they look at us as, man. Right. As they look at us as goddamn, just somebody to extort. You know what I'm saying? Somebody to oppress and take their aggression out on, man. Right. You're seeking the love of your oppressor, and that's where we go wrong. Go ahead, Cal, because
So, like, it's just heavy what you just brought out. Like, I mean, we talk about pick-me energy with the sisters, with our sisters and all that. Right? You know what I'm saying? They got pick-me energy when they decide to serve their husband and be a good sister. We got that same type of energy for our oppressor. Like, we want, like you said, like, we trying to be seen as human and
right.
as, you know what I'm saying, a brother to our oppressor, man. We need to have that same energy. We need to have that energy for our people instead of our oppressor. So
right.
That's right. Hey, that's right. That's right. And that's what we need. We need to have pick-me energy for blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. You don't know that pick-me energy is actually healthy. It's good. It's going to keep you, it's going to do one of two things. You're either going to go very far left or very far right. You're going to be very hot or very cold. And that's what Christ would have you be, man. Right. Christ said, I would rather you be hot or cold than you be lukewarm. You want to play the fence. You want to play fake woke. You love your people and this and that, but you sleep with you share a bed with the oppressor. Right. You share a bed with a so-called Asian man. Right. Well, that shows what you really love. I don't care how many Black Lives Matter protests you orchestrate. Right. I don't care how many fundraisers you have. If you cannot have a basic line of, what they call that? A morality. Something you really stick by and you stand strong and firmly with it. And that alone, well, then you can never stand with your people truly. You'll always be looking for whoever can give you the most attention and the most favor and whoever makes your Twitter account looks the best. When look, me and my brothers, we plan to look crazy. As it doesn't matter what people think we look like because we know what we stand for, man. Right. We stand for the absolute love and empowerment of blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians.
That's right.
And we go out on the street and look crazy in front of them and everybody else, all of their enemies, all of their fake, false leaders, their preachers and pastors who lie to them. And we go out there and we tell them the truth. We tell you the truth tonight, man, that you can't, like this priest said, you can't have it both ways. You got to have some pick-me energy with who you love, man. Right. You got to pick somebody and love them. You don't have enough energy to go out and orchestrate a Black Lives Matter movement and also a heighten the awareness of Holocaust victims. Right. You're fighting. One Holocaust needs more attention than the other, and in the end, Christ said, You'll love one master and hate the other. You can't serve two things. Right. You gotta pick one.
That's right.
Salakia, you got something, Knock?
Oh, Salakia, it was just heavy what you just brought out about, one Holocaust need more attention than the other. Well, the most popular Holocaust that gets the most attention, the fake Jewish man's Holocaust.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's over with, and they still getting, justice and reparations to this day. The Black Holocaust is still going on right now, today.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Like, it's like, it was another point, but I forgot.
It's too wild back. It's what fake Israelites would. It's what the Bible calls Jacob's trouble.
That's right.
It's something fake Israelites are afraid of, and it's something you live through every day. The drug infestation in your neighborhood, the goddamn rampant whoredoms in your community. Goddamn, you know your daughter is shaking her tail on OnlyFans, and there's nothing you could do about it as a father. That is a curse from God, man. That's a curse from God. But you being unable to do anything about it, man, that is a part of your Holocaust. Because your oppressor enables your daughters and promotes the whoredom of your sons and of your daughters as a higher, what do they call it, social standing, man. And that's why they want to do it, man. Just like the snitching system in jail. There were snitches. I'm sure there were snitches in the Holocaust. Oh, yeah, they're up in that attic so that they could save their own skin. It's something that is frowned upon inside of that community because it destroys that community, man. And that's what we got to realize. We are fighting for way too many communities. You're fighting for this Holocaust. They got their justice, and they're getting paid to this day. When you have a whole Holocaust that you're still living through, who the hell fights for somebody else's life when theirs is still in danger, man? Right. You cannot help save somebody from drowning if you're in the same water and you don't know how to swim either, man. That's right. You're detrimental to yourself and those around you. That's right. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm trying to highlight with this latest news story. I would have pulled it up, but I couldn't find it for some reason. I was gonna play the video for you all, but basically, this police officer, he's standing in the middle of the street. They're pointing guns back at each other. You put yours down. No, you put yours down, man. You need to stop. You need to stop that, man. I know you're just depressed. I used to be in the military just like you. I used to do this just like you, man. And identifying and trying to relate to this oppressor, man, so that he doesn't take his own life or turn his gun on that police officer, man. And eventually, his 45 minutes to an hour's worth of trying to coax this man into putting his gun down works. And the oppressor, he puts his gun down and he goes into jail without incident because of the kindness this devil showed to this other oppressor, man. Right. And you see the officer's body cam footage. Immediately when the man puts his gun down and he's handcuffed, he starts to cry. He starts to cry because he's happy that he saved that veteran's life, man. He goes down on one knee sobbing, man. And you know what I realized, man? That is true love. That oppressor truly loved that man, that stranger across the way from him. He loved him. He loved him. He identified him as his brother, and he acted accordingly, man. And that's something we're going to have to do as a nation. If it's something we teach here in the Isupk, man. We love you whether you're in the world or in the truth, man. It's our job. It's our job to love you. And loving you is not just something like, I love you, brother. Give you a pat on the back. All right, go ahead and do them drugs. It's really taking care of you, man. And we're taking time out of our day so that you get to see another moment. Right. Which is what that police officer did. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to sit there for 45 minutes. The goddamn coroner would have been done in 30, and he only had to been there for 5 to shoot him down, which is what they do with us every day of every month of every year, man. That's right. They shoot us down without question because they don't love us. Right. They don't give a damn about us, man. And blacks and Hispanics, you're never going to march into somebody's love. You're never going to vote somebody into loving you, man. Right. You're never going to lobby legislation into getting love for you. But I will tell you who does have a law that you must obey, you know what I'm saying, that commands you to love your brother. Right. Yahweh, Jesus Christ in English, man. Right. It is a law according to the Bible that you ought to love your brother. Give me Matthew 22 and 36. You know what I'm saying? And blacks and Hispanics, I'm gonna show you just how much. And our problem is that we want the love of our oppressor instead of the love of our brother and sister, man. And you know what I'm saying? Like, when you talk to sisters, really y'all fight your whole life for the love of your oppressor and never get it, ever. Goddamn Wendy Williams is still not Wendy Williams. What's that? Serena Williams is still fighting for the love of the oppressor she's already married to and has a child by. She's bleaching her skin, straightening her hair, so because she does not feel loved enough by that oppressor, man. She doesn't love herself enough because she's not receiving some sort of, you know what I'm saying, some sort of affection or a certain attention that she thinks in her mind that a white woman would get. And so she goes out of her way to appear as one so that she can get closer to that fantasy in her mind. But really, man, what she really needed was the love of a black man. A black man would tell her she don't need to do all that crazy stuff she's doing to her body. She don't need to do all those things she's doing to her hair. What do women say all the time when they turn into whores? Oh, I got daddy issues. Me and my father, we never saw eye to eye. I always was rebelling against him, man. And that's where it comes from. You never accepted the love of a black man. Right. And that's what we got to learn to do. We got to stop wanting the affection, the love, and the kindness of people who are never going to give it to us, first off, and never want to give it to us. You know what I'm saying? Bible Kashak, get what you got.
Come. The book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 36. Master, which is the great commandment in the law?
This is a man coming and asking Christ, trying to trip him up and asking him, what's the most important law? What is the greatest law that you should never break? Go ahead, Ag.
Verse 37. Yahweh said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart.
Christ said that you should love the Lord your God with all your heart, which means all of your mind, man. Everything that you think about should be about serving the Lord and never betraying him and keeping your oath to him, man. That's what the first one is. Keep reading out.
And with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. Verse 38. This is the first and great commandment.
Keep reading.
Verse 39. And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
And the second one is just like the first one, man. You should love your neighbor as yourself. Now, this doesn't mean anybody that you live next to. Biblically, in the Bible, historically and all that, you can look at it as in modern terms today. Your neighbor is your family. It's somebody who descends from the people that you descend from. In the ghetto, it would be a black, Hispanic, or Native American Indian, man. That somebody who came off them slave ships, somebody who had an oppressor over them and enslaved their family, man, and took their language away from them, just like yours was taken away from you. That's who your neighbor is. It's another black, Hispanic, or Native American Indian, man. Right. And in the Bible, when we came when you come into a land with all your family and all the 12 tribes of Israel, it's just you and them. So who could your neighbor be besides them? The Lord commanded them to either kick out or eradicate every other nation that lived in the land, man. Right. And so there are no other neighbors. There are no other people that they live next to contextually. And even right here in this precept, in Judea where Christ was speaking, only people who lived there, only people who were their neighbors were other Judeans or Israelites, man. Right. And then the oppressor, he lived up in a castle somewhere to keep the land annexed. And that's reality. That's history, man. And read it again. Christ said to love who?
Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. You
should love your neighbor as yourself, man. That devil, he loved that white man as himself. Right. The whole time he was talking him down, he was saying, you know, man, I was in the Marines like you, man. I go through it just like you. When I have them thoughts, man, I call the VA, man. Relating to that brother. Well, why can't blacks and Hispanics do that, man? Why we ought to do that? You professing yourself to be a gangster, and how many bodies you got? All you kill are other black men. Right. Other brothers who were born in the ghetto, whose mothers were strung out on crack. You proud of killing a man you're related to who was born in a horrible condition like you? You're just like those snitches out in Nazi Germany. That's who you are. You killed a black man to get ahead. To what? Steal from him? To rob him? Or for some clout? That isn't bravery. That's not manly. That's effeminate. That's childish, and it's hateful towards your brothers and your own people, man. And according to the Bible, you're against Christ when you do such things, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All you brothers taking hits out on other black men for what? y'all are I was looking into the Young Dolph situation, and it is a possibility that Young Dolph was murdered because Soulja Boy is effeminate. Are you hearing me? Because Soulja Boy is in his feelings, he put a hit out on Young Dolph and some other rapper, because he was in a beef with Kanye that he didn't put his verse on his album. And now because this black man is emotional and he has money, he put a hit out on all over Instagram Live, puts a hit out on another black man. Over words. If you're a black man and you go out and actually, first off, Soulja Boy can never ever say anything about police killings because he's paying to get black men killed. Even the gesture of it is disgusting. To pay to get a black man killed over because you're emotional, because you felt disrespected. Now this man's got to die. You disrespect the Lord every day you smoke weed. Right. The Lord still hasn't taken your life. You disrespect the Lord every time you whore out one of his daughters. Right. You disrespect the Lord whenever you destroy your temple, man, and teach men to do so. Right. You disrespect the Lord in yourself. The Lord still hasn't killed you because he's an honorable man. And what the Bible is showing you is that you should be like the Lord. You should be like Christ and love your brothers, man. Truly love them. You know, as I see it, if you're not in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, you don't really know what loving black people is, man. You don't know what loving them means. You think it's going out to march and getting high with your oppressor later. You think loving black people is donating, I don't know, $20 to some Africans over across the ocean so white people can traffic that money and steal it. That's not loving black people. Loving black people is actually being patient with them in a real life scenario, not snapping on your neighbor or this or that, or sleeping with your neighbor's wife or things like that. That's what loving black people is, man. And that's what we fail to see. When you start to relate to those black men across from you as yourself, you wouldn't want anybody, sleeping with your wife and uploading it onto the internet. You wouldn't want anybody dealing drugs to your children, I'd hope, and profiting off of their future drug addictions. So why are we doing it to each other, man? Right. And blacks and Hispanics got to realize and got to look more long term with these things. It is. The world is coming to an end much quicker than I would even think I was accustomed to. Right. I remember being very young in the truth and wishing this was over. You know what I'm saying? Wishing it was done with. And after realizing what that takes, it takes COVID-19 variants. It takes goddamn, what was it? 60 tornadoes over Kentucky in 24 hours. Right. That's what it takes. It takes a lot of death and destruction and sadness for Christ to come back, man. And I would rather we be straight before then. Right. So we can make it. Blacks and Hispanics can make it, man. Kalkazai, you had something?
Well, so like what you just brought out, like that's a behavior that we gotta learn, and it's something that you don't understand unless you in the Isupk or the Commander General Yohana. You have to learn how to love blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans as a black, Hispanic, and Native American.
That's right.
Like, cause we like you said, we think that love is putting on a dashiki and doing a rain dance and, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Doing a cha-cha slide with your oppressor.
Saying my ancestors.
Right, yeah, like trying to learn, like, you know what I'm saying, trying to learn some other culture, donating to some charity that you have no idea where the money's going to, and then you go home and sell your brother drugs and then get high with your, you know what I'm saying, with your oppressor, and, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, you marry your oppressor, like,
Right.
We don't understand how to love one another because we haven't learned how to, that love is separated from all these other nations, especially your oppressor, and then gathering with just blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And that's something that you only learn in the ISUPK. It's like,
Hey, damn right. Get that priest a hand, man. You know what I'm saying? And the thing, and that's exactly right, man. The thing about it is we need to adhere to the Lord's laws so that we actually know how to love each other, man. So that we actually know how to, and we don't know how to. We confuse loving each other for, like you said, going out and marching and smoking a J with the oppressor. He the goddamn police officer, the police chief's son. You smoking a J with the police chief's son, thinking you had a good day's work. He the one who threw the Molotov cocktail through the window to burn the station down, man. Right. He's never going to see a day in prison, but you are. You are for the same blunt that y'all are sharing. You're gonna do time, and he's not, and that's because they love each other. They have rules for their society, man. They have rules for their society. If you know enough people, you're not going to jail. What happened with that devil that killed 2 people and injured another? Kyle Rittenhouse. Rittenhouse. Goddamn, got off of the murder charges. Beat the case. First off, celebrities came and gave him $1 million so that he could get bonded out. Gave the court $1 million so he could get bonded out. You know, you see him in the goddamn bar the next day, underage drinking. And then he beats the case, man. He beats the case. The judge was talking about how, we're just gonna throw these charges out, and this evidence isn't gonna be usable in court. The judge chose who he wanted to win before the case even started, man. Right. And then, to defy all odds, he beats the cases, man. Goes off scot-free, murdering 2 other white people. But Kyle Rittenhouse knows higher white people, man. And he knows more famous people. After that, he goes on to get political paying jobs to go and shadow senators, man. And other powerful individuals in this country. Right. God damn it! I shoot 2 white people. I'm getting put under the prison. Right. I'm getting thrown under They're gonna dig a new cell under the jail and put me in it for shooting 2 white people with an AR-15. If I go, and I'm gonna look black and blue because they beat me to get me to arrest me if they didn't shoot and kill me on sight. And that's the difference between us, man. Now you're never gonna get that. You're never gonna get Kyle Rittenhouse attention because it breaks their rules. But what you need is to follow the rules written in this Bible, man. Right. Follow the rules and the laws and the protocols of brotherhood, man. And love a brother, man. Love him even if he hates you. That sounded like I just started speaking another language for black people. Right. Love him even if he hates you. Love him enough to be patient with him, man. Right. And pray he change, man, so y'all can realize the value in each other's lives. Because a black man is becoming more and more valuable as the days go on, man. What the Bible says, he will make a man more valuable than fine gold. Well, I'm a man that studies stocks. And the thing about values is, the less there are of something, the more it costs. So black men are dying every damn day. Every day. But their necessity goes up every day. Their value is becoming more and more. Salakia. Now, you going out there and appreciating the value of your own people, man, of your own company. When you go out and you sell them drugs, or you convince a woman to sell her body, you do this or that, man. You're destroying the value of your people. You are. It's not. You can't blame the oppressor anymore. You can't blame. After you've been educated. How many brothers and sisters have come and told you that the CIA put drugs in your community, and the oppressor has done it, and the police have done it? It's an ISUPK motto. If you sell drugs, you work for the cops. Right. You work for the CIA. You are the ops. That's you. And you're still going out and dealing dime bags out to people in middle school and in high school. You're the problem now. That's right. The police aren't just the problem, you're the problem now too, because you work for the police. Right. You're one of their movers. You're one of their pushers, man. You're their pusher, man. And blacks and Hispanics, your value is so much higher than them, man. You got these sisters out here getting degrees out the Y and the zoo. Crazy number doing, and you know what? Because they don't have a man to really direct them and lead them to keep their head straight, because them chemicals in their brain be rattling, man. Because they don't got a black man who really loves them, who truly loves them for who they are. Not an oppressor who gets with you because you're a $1 billion tennis player, but a man who truly loves you and truly cares about you, because they don't have somebody like that. They're led astray and they're destroyed even for it, man. Right. You know what I'm saying? Which tells you what? A black man's value is more than a couple masters, right? Master's degrees. A black man's value is more than a couple $100,000 positions or more. It's much more than that, man. And it's going even higher than that. Even higher than that. You have a few wives who can bring in that much money. But your value is higher than that because you protect these women. You protect this community and you keep it straight and you increase its value, man. That's what brotherhood is. Brotherhood is cherishing the value of your brothers and sisters next to you, man. And making sure that they stay right and they increase, man. You know what I'm saying? Calcutta, you got something?
Oh, Salaki, I just wanted to bring out a precept for what you just said, if I could.
Go ahead.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 7. The Lord did not set his love upon you nor choose you because you were more in number than any people, for you were the fewest of all people. Now, like anywhere we go, like you said, like we're like the most, like you said with the stocks, like the less of you that there is available, the more value it is. It's supply and demand.
Right.
With the Most High chooses to love us and put his, you know what I'm saying, give us, you know what I'm saying, rulership. And, you know what I'm saying, he chose us over any other nation, and we were the fewest.
That's right.
And, like, slack, yeah. Lost my goddamn point.
The Lord, the Lord chose us not because we were many and we were strong, man. Not because we could, you know, because we had all the babies or this or that, or we did this that way like other nations, but because he loved us, man. He saw the value in us, the righteousness and the innate desire to be good in us, man. And are you gonna be wrong? Are you gonna say the Lord was wrong in who he picked? The Lord was wrong to pick Jesus, huh? So since the Lord was wrong, you're gonna pick Bobby. You're gonna go marry Bobby and not Jesus, because socially it's better to marry Bobby. Everybody likes, you know, white people are on top, you know, they run America, so it's better to pick Bobby. And the Lord was wrong when he picked Jesus. You know what I'm saying? You're wrong. The Lord knows everything and created everything. And what he picks is right. Well, look, there's another saying in the UPK. I have my own ideas until, you know, somebody above me says something, then I think that's a great idea. Right. That was a great idea. What did you just say? That's a great idea. I might say something completely different until then. But then when I hear the words of the Lord, Well, then now that's a great idea. Blacks and Hispanics are your chosen people, Lord. God damn, I didn't even really look at it till you said it, but these niggas are the best. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, priest.
It's like it, since we love our oppressors so much, like look at who they choose to build their kingdom on. Like they built their kingdom on our backs, even though that we're the fewest nation. You know what I'm saying? They built, you know what I'm saying? They entertain us with blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Their culture, their arts, their ability to, you know, like their talent. That's who they choose to build their kingdom on and to, you know what I'm saying, fuel their businesses and fuel their economy.
That's right. That's right, priest. That's exactly right. The thing is, this country sees the value of black people. It sees the value. We built all of Washington, D.C., built this whole country from coast to goddamn coast. After they burned it down, we built it again, and they see our value. They see our value, and there's so much so in the goddamn Willie Lynch letters and all those other white documents of oppression. They say these people are so great that if we do not keep them down and destroy their family structures and keep them oppressed, they're going to rise up above us. They're going to rise up above us. And you know that's in the Bible too. Pharaoh said that in Egypt. He said the children of Israel wax great and mighty, and if we don't do something now, they're gonna rise up and be above us. And that's why Rosewood was burned to the ground. Right. That's why Black Wall Street was burned to the ground. That's why they bombed those cities in Detroit and in was it Georgia? Philadelphia, man. Yeah, they burned that. Goddamn. They said, I heard this. After they dropped that bomb on that building in Philadelphia, they went and asked the police officer who made the bomb. It was just some cat who was like, "Yeah, I know how to make a bomb." And after he blew it up, they was like, "Dang, that was a whole lot." He said, the devil said, "Well, they didn't tell me how much to put in the bomb. They just told me to make one." That's your oppressor, man. That's your oppressor, and that's their will to keep you on the bottom, man. Give me these statistics in this article real quick. I want you to read this. Actually, get this article. This is suicide by cop. The protocol that police officers have for civilians, mainly white. You can look up the statistics. A staggering amount of white men choose to commit suicide by calling a police officer and threatening them with a firearm, which is what that civilian I was referencing earlier was attempting to do. He was attempting to kill himself by hiring a police officer and threatening a police officer to do it. You know what I'm saying? I got it right here, Rock. Here you go. Read blue, and then read the blue and the blue. Skip that red part. Read the top blue, then that middle blue, and then just keep reading those bullets. There's a blue above it, and read the website. Yeah, start with that.
Suicide by cop protocol for dispatchers.
Okay.
Dispatchers can make the difference between life and death in SBC incidents.
Now, this is the protocol for dispatchers and responding officers in situations where suicide by cop SBC could happen. They give the responsibility up to the dispatcher first to really identify if this man just wants to kill himself or he's having suicidal thoughts. Because there's a protocol in place to protect the lives of white civilians. Because statistically, white civilians kill themselves more by cop than anybody else. And that's why there's a protocol about it, because white society loves white civilians. All right, go ahead, Ike.
Dispatchers can make the difference between life and death in SBC incidents.
They can make the difference between life and death. How much do we say The people who call the police on black people, the dispatcher takes it up to 10 in these situations. That's why they pop out. Goddamn, the dispatcher could, in the situation where, was it Tamir Rice, that 10-year-old who got shot?
Right.
In the situation with Tamir Rice, a woman called and said, there's a little kid out here in the park. And he's playing with like a toy gun. It looks real, but I think it's just a toy. The dispatcher then goes and says, yeah, there's a kid out in the park with a gun. And the police come and shoot Tamir Rice dead. Point blank. One shot. Boom. Hopped out the car, and in less than 2 seconds, shoots and kills Tamir Rice. I don't even think he put the goddamn car in park.
Right, yeah, I was like, I was about to say, that joke was still moving.
Yeah, he jumped out and just blew him away because this dispatcher didn't give accurate information and relay. She messed up the telephone. She didn't relay the information. She said, black kid has gun. They popped out, blew the dude away. Blew a 10-year-old boy away, man, because your life in their eyes is worth nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But here on the protocol for suicide by cop, a dispatcher can mean the difference between life and death. Keep reading now.
Come. Because they can provide critical information.
They can give critical information. Critical information that is needed to save this person's life. Keep reading now.
Alerting the officers that the situation may be an SBC incident.
It might be somebody just trying to kill themselves. They'll hop on the phone and be like, yeah, there's a suspect with a gun out here, but he just sounds depressed. You know, or they're gonna add a little tag on the end. Suspect, white suspect gun, but his wife says, you know, he was talking about hurting himself earlier. Keep reading now. Keep reading.
Okay. Providing details about the subject of the call and conveying the exact language that the 911 caller is using.
Now, this is something that they should already be employing in every 911 call response. It's a part of your job to communicate the situation accurately as possible to a responding officer. But in this protocol for suicide by cop, they're telling you to give extra care to this situation, as to remind you that this is a white man's life. You got to take care of it. You know what I'm saying? He might just be sad. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's out here waving a gun or a knife in public. He might have just be depressed from his childhood or his past military experiences. So that's why he's out here threatening you with a gun and so on and so forth, man. And I'm bringing this up to tell black people, white people didn't march so that this protocol could be made.
Damn.
White people didn't lobby. They didn't write their politician. They didn't call the governor. They didn't sign a petition. White people just saw that white people were trying to kill themselves by calling the cops, and then they invented a protocol to safeguard white lives.
Right.
That's why y'all go out and chant that Black Lives Matter too. That's why y'all go out and chant that, you know, black and brown lives matters too, and you know, what about us and things like that. When I have I have a proposition to make to you tonight. Instead of trying to march for the love of your oppressor, of your enemy, of your rapist, of your murderer, man. Just fight. Just fight to love that man next to you, that black and Hispanic man next to you. I know some of you women out there, y'all gotta fight to love y'all husband. He come home and he kick his work boots off in a breezeway every day. His feet stank. Do this and do that. And I know you black men, Gotta fight to love that black woman next to you. But let me tell you something. You are the real hero. You're the real reason. Black women and black men that fight to love each other are the real reason that we're just not dead in the street right now.
Right.
Because little black boys and girls look at that and see that that's something that they want. You know what I'm saying? They would go through hell to have a relationship that even mimics half of the healthiness of some black folks, some black couples that exist in rarity today, man. Who didn't resolve themselves to twerking it on Instagram. Some of y'all are 48 years old twerking it on TikTok. I seen it. I goddamn seen it. And y'all got 3 kids by 2 different men because y'all refused to fight to love him, man. Right. And you can't go out a month later marching and saying Black Lives Matter. That man who put those children inside of you, his life didn't matter.
Right.
That some of you men, you throw your women away. So cause you want to chase a white woman. Or something younger or something fresher. When God would say it's a sin to throw any of them away. You know what I'm saying? You can't go out and march and say justice for Breonna Taylor when you didn't love that black woman that was right next to you. You didn't fight for her. And it's a fight. Some of y'all got to slay some dragons. Some of y'all got to turn into Arthur with Excalibur on these women. Right. Y'all got to pray to the Lord. I got to be like, Lord. Y'all got to be like, Lord, give me the strength to fight and love this woman, man. And that's a holy prayer right there. That's a holy prayer that the Lord will surely hear. And he'll give you the strength to battle and to love that woman, man. And that's what life is. Life is all a big old fight. Are you going to be a quitter? Are you going to refuse to fight? It's too hard. Becky, it's easier to love Becky. She just does what I say. She doesn't have generational trauma. Of course she doesn't. She was the one who gave Tisha generational trauma. That's who Becky is. Now you don't want to love Keisha because it's harder, man. You are demanded of God to love your own, man. And everybody else is doing it except, certain blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. You know who started Stop Asian Hate? Asians and black people. You know who spearheads it? Black people. I don't know no Asians saying Stop Asian Hate. None of that. I watch anime. I ain't seen one anime show come on say Stop Asian Hate. You know who I do see it though? You know who I do see put them hashtags in their tweets. Put them hashtags in their Instagram posts and their TikTok posts. Black people. Right. Because it's easier to love Asians. You don't have to fight to love an Asian man or an Asian woman. Go ahead.
It's like it's so heavy what you're saying because, like you said, they don't put that in their shows and in their movies and all that. But it's so deep that black people are so oppressed in this country, and we don't love each other that we have to put it in our cartoons that Black Lives Matter.
Damn.
Stop. You know what I'm saying?
We gotta
hands up, don't shoot.
Because the protest
in our cartoons, like you.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I finish, please. Nah, because the protest never stops, man. The protest for white love never stops because you'll never get it. You're always going to fight for it. It'll be 400 more years in the future, and you'll still be marching and talking and reminiscing on MLK and how he did it with 1 million men, and now we're doing it with this many, and we marching for the love of the white man.
God damn.
And still don't have it, man. And they'll be in space flying to Mars, and goddamn, you'll still be in the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? You'll still be in the ghetto. They'll be on Mars terraforming, talking about, goddamn, these Martian carrots this season, rich and affluent, because they know who to love and know the rules that come with society and dealing with other peoples. You know what I'm saying? You think white people encourage their sons and daughters to marry Asians? You think they encourage their daughters to marry black women and black men? That's a question you need to ask yourself in your heart and your soul. I'll tell you who does encourage their daughters and children to marry white men and white women. Hispanic fathers. Fathers who tell their daughters, "Oh, you're with Eric. I'm either. You got a good one." You know what I'm saying? You're goddamn Asian parents, of course. They say you're marrying up if you got you a white boy. He could be the ugliest white boy trailer trash you done ever seen. And you married up because of the complexion and the social status that comes with that. Now, why are we fighting for that? It doesn't do us any good. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't help us at all. Why are we fighting for the love that these people love us, man, when we should just love each other? We should stop killing each other. We should stop wronging and sinning against each other, man. And then, when Christ does come back, very soon and very shortly, he won't have a problem with blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. He'll just have a problem with everybody who's ever done anything wrong to them, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And it'll be a beautiful, beautiful day of rejoicing for everybody whose name is Consuela, everybody whose name is Jordan, you know what I'm saying? And we gonna be good because we learned to love each other, man. And until that day, until we learn to stop loving all these nations, you know, that hate us and oppress us, and actually put in protocols like this article is bringing out, just realize what we're doing. These people just realized that white men are dying, killing themselves by calling the police. So they invented a protocol and to avoid it. And why don't we realize the detriment and the harm that we're doing to ourselves, man? The destruction that we're doing and creating and putting on ourselves, and fix it ourselves. Right. You want the white man to come in and give you and spoon feed you, don't you? That's what you're marching for. Not just his love, but you're also marching that he fixes what he did wrong. Right. That he fixes. You need to give us reparations for that slavery, even though you're still married to Becky. Right. Out here asking for reparations. You trying to repair Becky over here. What's wrong with you, man? What's wrong with you? Talking about justice for Breonna Taylor. Look, man, you don't know what the love is. You don't really identify until you fix the problems in your own community. You can never demand another community to do you justice when you're a criminal and you're amongst your own. You know what I'm saying? You hate your people in your own. You're in the ghetto and you hate every nigga you see. Yeah, that's what you rap about. I don't love these. I don't trust these niggas. I don't fuck with these niggas. Salagi, I don't mess with these niggas. And if any nigga ever try me, I'm gonna put him down. I'm gonna shoot him down. That's what you rap about. And we don't love these hoes. Well, damn. Well, I love these hoes, but not like a simp. You know, I love these women like my sister. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we ought to do. That's what you're supposed to do. You're out here talking about, yeah, they doing us wrong, lighting up a blunt and smoking with your children or with teenagers, talking about social reforms. They need to give us reparations, and they need to get these drugs out the neighborhood. You smoking the drugs they put in the neighborhood, man. You are a part of the problem now, man. And until you fix that problem, you can never be able to make demands to another nation on how they should treat you when you don't even treat yourself properly, man. Right. Drop that. Let me see my phone. I'm gonna get you another article real quick. Get you another article real quick. Read All right, read the title and then go scroll all the way down to where it says Figure 1 and read that. If you need help, just let me know.
Okay. Risk of being killed by police, use of force in the United States by age, race, ethnicity, and sex.
Okay, this is basically, you know, you've been to Vegas or you ever gambled. These are the odds of you being killed by police force based on your age or your race, so-called ethnicity, you know, or sex. Go ahead, go down to the, yeah, you right there. Read where it says, starts at Figure 1.
Figure 1 displays estimates of lifetime risk of being killed by police use of force by race and sex, using data from 2013 to 2018. We estimate that over the life course, at levels of risk similar to those observed between 2013 and 2018, about 52 90% uncertainty interval of every 100,000 men and boys in the United States will be killed by police use of force over the life course. And about 3 of every 100,000 women and girls will be killed by police over the life course.
So it's saying that, disparagingly, if you're a black man, you're more likely to be killed by the police in America. They're more than likely going to shoot, kill you, or you're gonna have a police stop. It's gonna escalate to where they feel like they should use force, and then they're gonna use deadly force, and then they're going to kill you. By this article right here by PNAS, I forget what that stands for, but you can look it up on the internet. Keep reading, Doc.
Go to Figure 2.
Let me see it. It really should have elaborated more, because the races that show up next are. Let me just let you. Does anybody want to guess the races that are more likely to die?
Suicide?
No, this is for police brutality, like police stops that turn fatal.
The first one is Negroes?
The first one is African Americans.
Oh, Hispanics.
The second one is actually Native American Indians.
Wow.
Native American Indians. And this is based on numbers. This isn't based on percentages. This is based on, like, how many out of 100,000 will die, which is amazing. I didn't even know that brothers were getting slaughtered like that to this very day. And then third is Hispanics, or you know what I'm saying. And then fourth is I don't know what that is. Like a total. It's basically white then Asian Pacific Islanders. Go ahead, read Figure 2. Go ahead, though.
Just looking at that chart, like the number, like, drastically, like, if you look at the chart, it's like a huge span of blacks or black people, and then Native Americans, and then Hispanics. You know what I'm saying?
Kinda.
Barely smaller than Native or African Americans, and then once you get to white people, it's just like white people, and then the rest of the nation is just like a very small number. Just looking at the charts, I like it.
Con, I'm gonna try to pull it up for him. Go ahead though. Read our Figure 2.
Figure 2 displays the ratio of lifetime risk for each racial ethnic group relative to risk for whites. Relative to risk for whites or both men and women. Note that a ratio of 1 indicates equality in mortality risk relative to whites. The highest level of inequality in mortality risk are experienced by black men.
It's like, yeah. Let's go up a sentence. Read that again.
The highest level of inequality in mortality risk are experienced by black men.
The highest is experienced by black men. Read the next sentence.
Gonna black men are about 2.5 times more likely to be killed by police over the life course than are white men.
Okay, all right. Let me put that into perspective. 2 times more likely. So 2.5 times. Yeah, can't forget the half. That half is very important. 2.5 times more likely to be killed by police compared to white men. This is including, believe it or not, suicide by cop. These are just considering all avenues that police kill people by race. You know what I'm saying? Now you're 2.5 times more as likely to get killed by police. Why haven't they invented protocols to get around murdering you at every traffic stop?
Right.
Why haven't they really analyzed the situations about how we end up killing so many niggas? Oh wait, they don't care.
Right.
It's inconsequential.
Right.
Give me Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 10. You know what I'm saying? It's inconsequential, the murder and the death that happen and that they induce on so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, man. It's something that it doesn't register, that doesn't gauge on their sensors, on their monitor. It's like, how do I say it? It's like, it's like, you know, the price for a black man. It's like the price of, what's the shoe black people don't like? Sperry's, Tom's. Nah, niggas don't even know what I'm talking about. It's like the price of Tom's going up. It doesn't matter to you. You don't wear those shoes. You don't buy that unless you live in California. You know what I'm saying? And that's what your life is to them. That's what you bleeding out on the street. All the blood coming out of your body riddled with bullet holes. That's what it means to them. Because that's what you mean to them, man. Salakia, priest. Tapzar, you. Yeah. You got that out?
Come. The Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 10. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age.
This is the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 10, man. Solomon is saying what the oppressor does to us. He murders us without regard of if us poor righteous men. He murders us without regard of if we're old, we're women, or if we're children, man. Keep reading.
Okay, verse 11. Let our strength be in the law of justice.
Their strength is in the law of justice, man. Their cousins and their family run these courts. All the lawyers, the prosecutor, the DA, the PA, they run the goddamn courts. And their power is in the law. Their power, and they exude. If anybody ever even questioned the murder of our people in these streets by police officers, the law and the courts would uphold them. They would say that police officer felt that his life was endangered, and so he felt justified in taking the life of or paralyzing your family member, man. And that's just the God honest truth. You know what I'm saying? That's it. But who are you to complain when you do the same? You do it for less. You do it because your weed bag was light. You do it because you go and kill a black man because a nigga get on goddamn Instagram live and he talk and get in his feelings. You do it for nothing. You do it for clout. You do it just to say you did it. Yeah, I killed about 8 niggas my whole life, and if another nigga try me, it'd be 9. That's what you do it for, man. Which is nothing. You're the same as them. You're the exact same as the police officer that murdered George Floyd. You're the exact same as the as you know, as those disgusting men who murdered Vanessa Guillen, man. Because they thought, you know, if I get caught, I'll be all right. You know, whatever. It's inconsequential, the lives of these women and these Hispanic women especially. Salakia, what's up?
Well, Salakia, I just wanted to add the only difference is they're defending their rulership and their kingdom. We're defending our oppression and don't even know it.
You're defending a block that ain't yours.
Right.
You're defending a color that you go to the Asian man to buy. That flag hanging out your pocket from the 99-cent store, man. The reason he does it is to exude his authority over you and your entire neighborhood. Right. And you feel that authority. And instead of getting with those people who are oppressed with you, you go and you oppress those people who are in hell with you, man. And that's a cowardly move. That's a coward's move out, man. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a saying that goes, sometimes it's better to make no move than the wrong move. You know what I'm saying? You going out and destroying black people for a short time profit is deplorable, man. It's hateful and it's destructive, and it makes you a hypocrite every time you go out and you try to march for justice. You say no justice, no peace. You're a hypocrite, man. That's why Kendrick Lamar said, I'm the biggest hypocrite that I know. Because I'm talking about black lives this and black lives that and do this and do that. When I shot at a nigga before. I did this or I've done that. And black men, you don't even see yourself in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Read through 12.
Verse 11. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth.
Oh my goodness. They're saying that which is feeble is worth nothing. Poor people, that's what they regard you as. You're regarded as nothing, which is why Kyle Rittenhouse got off. Are you surprised? Those other white men who killed Ahmaud Arbery, I thought they was going to get off. But they wasn't rich enough, I guess. They didn't have enough connections, I guess. But goddamn, it looked like almost a close case. Right. Looked like a close case. They was in that room deliberating for about 24 hours, the jury. But, that's what it is. And that's what this society values. If you're weak, you're worth nothing. If you're poor, you're needy, you're not worth anything, man. When the Lord says the poor righteous man has the most value in this earth. These people in the ghetto who are strung out on drugs, they are the most valuable thing in his eyes. The Bible says that the children of Israel are the apple of his eye, man. And if you're out here destroying them or taking advantage of them, you're stealing from the Lord, man. You're stealing what is pleasant in his sight. You read through 12? Go ahead.
12. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean, contrary to our doing.
And this is another reason why they destroy blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, man. Because we are the opposite of them. We love and they hate. It's in black people to love. Black people are the poorest people I know, and they give to the more homeless people than a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We go out and start food raising. The first thing I seen after those tornadoes cleared out of Kentucky is a black man in a barbecue pit saying, I know I ain't got much, but I'm going to give all I got.
Damn.
This nigga ain't FEMA. And he drove out of his way to come feed people whose houses were destroyed regardless of race, color, or creed, man. Yeah, Kentucky got more white supremacists than a little bit. They might have deserved some of them tornadoes. Lord knows they deserve all them tornadoes. The Lord is in every storm. You know what I'm saying? But But this black man, because he's righteous and he's actually loving and he gives a goddamn about human life. He goes and drives, hitches his barbecue pit up to his truck, fires it up, and goes and cooks for people he don't even know. You know what I'm saying? When white people don't do that, unless there's Instagram likes involved, you know what I'm saying? Unless there's some sort of a YouTube exploit involved. That's why they go give to the homeless. That's why they go out in hurricanes and get boats and go rescue people. You know what I'm saying? Like in the Houston hurricane crisis. That's the reason, because they're contrary to the law. They're contrary to the Lord. All these other nations hate everybody, man. And are selfish and hate everything that isn't them. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and drop that. Give me Give me this article. This will be my last article. This joint right here. Yeah, read where it's coming from, the date, and the title, and then the first paragraph.
Where you want to start?
This is, and then title, and then.
This is coming from the Washington Post. Killings by police are undercounted by more than half, new study says.
Now, which killings do you think are not counted? Which killings do you think they're not counting? Calcazar.
It's like the ones that's not on camera.
Hey, give this preacher a hand. Give this. The ones that they turn the body cam off for, that's the ones that they're not counting, man. They're not counting the ones that they don't want to count. The only ones that they don't want to count are blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Because they hate to show how much they're murdering and slaughtering us in these streets, man. They would hate to be wrong when they go up on Fox News and say, black people are exaggerating, and the statistics show... When the statistics show that we're 13% of the population and getting slaughtered like we're 90%. Right. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading that.
Okay. More than half of police killings in the United States over the past 40 years have been mislabeled, according to a new study, leading to a stark undercount of deaths at the hands of officers.
They have been mislabeled. So a police officer will go out, boom, shoot a brother, kill him cold-blooded. And then they'll say, nah, he killed himself. Or it was drug-related, or something like that. Keep reading. Gang-related, gang violence. Where Kabar at?
Leading to a stark undercount of deaths at the hands of officers and a lopsided perception of what experts say What experts say is a public health crisis.
All right, soak that in for a second. The police killings expert is getting so high that experts are calling it a public health crisis. Nigga, that's a lot of killing. That's a lot of that's COVID-19 killing. That's COVID-19 killing. That's opioid epidemic killing. That's crack. That's crack, 80s crack era epidemic killing that the police are doing. And they're not even fessing up to all the ones they're doing. Keep reading, man. Unless you got something to say. Go ahead. These brothers, they COVID 5-0. It's when you call 911, you calling COVID 5-0. You don't know if you're gonna catch something, a bullet maybe. You know what I'm saying? It'd be the last police call you ever make. And that goes out for you sisters calling the law on your husband, man. Because you're so loudmouth, you can't shut your mouth and actually discuss something like a civil human being with the person you spread your legs for, man. You calling the death squad out on the father of your children. Or Lord forbid a man calling him on his woman. I ain't see. That's a rare one. If that ever happened, if a man called the police on a woman, it's like I almost said, that woman got a knife. She getting real aggro. It's serious. But you women, y'all will call and lie on a man to get him locked up and get him in trouble with the police when they might end up killing that man. And that is you attempting to kill your brother and your husband, man. Go ahead, Salaki.
Salaki, if I could just add to that, like, they're calling police officers humans who are killing blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans a public health crisis.
Nigga.
Comparing it to, like, they call COVID a public health crisis. They call the opioid epidemic a public health crisis. And, but those are things that they cannot control. Like, they can't control COVID. Like an illness, a plague that the Most High put on this earth, they can't control that. But they are doing everything they can to try to control that thing that they can't control. They can absolutely control the rate that police officers and public figures are killing blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and they are doing nothing to try to control that.
That's right, man. That's exactly right, Priest. And the thing is, they are doing everything they can do to control one thing instead of the other. Just like the opioid epidemic versus the crack epidemic, man. Crack was, reportedly disproportionately affecting blacks more than whites. So, crackheads are demonized and locked up and thrown in jail and not gotten help. There's no medical help for you. You're a crackhead. You're a criminal. Go to jail. White people are abusing opioids, Xanax, Oxycontin, and now we are opening up places that they can do it safely, even though that is a crime. It's a crime. Did you know it's a crime to pop Xanax? Did you know that? Did white people know that? Let me just educate you real quick. If you do not have a prescription for opioids and you're popping them, you are a criminal. You're a criminal. We need to lock you up. But because you're white, and because society caters to you, we're gonna get you Narcan shots for the police. And then we're gonna teach them how to identify if you're ODing on the side of the street. Teach them how to use this shot to revive you, you drug addict. And so you could come back and keep doing drugs. But those Negroes who were doing cocaine, they knew what they were doing. They just drug addicts. And they needed to die. They needed to get locked up. And that shows what these people think of you versus themselves, man. Same thing with the killing of police versus COVID-19. COVID-19 hitting everybody. COVID-19 hitting everybody, man. And just knocking brothers and sisters off. I seen on the news 800,000 people dead in the U.S. alone. I don't know when they started counting that, but it's probably this year alone. Maybe not, I don't know. But it's knocking off people quickly. And you know what else is knocking people off quickly? Police. Police are shooting niggas quick as they print bullets. Right. Shooting them. Now, I know I have to wear a mask whenever I go into the airport, but police don't ever have to talk to me a certain way. Police don't have to change the way they interact so that more people stop dying as much. You know what I'm saying? Because society is again showing you, the Lord is again showing you that this society does not give a damn about blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the truth. That's the truth. They're going to protect their lives and their own, but they're not going to regard yours, man. Salakia, keep reading that article.
Research from University of Washington found that from 1980 to 2019, more than 55% of 31,000 deaths attributed to police violence were assigned other causes in official federal death data.
They're saying that more than 55%. So those statistics that I read, that this priest read to you, are wrong. You need to double those numbers. You need to double them, more than double them, to get an accurate estimate of how many people the police are murdering. And if you listen, if you remember the words that he said, I was trying to pull the picture for you up, but I couldn't. The bars on the diagram were like this for blacks and Hispanics, and when it got to white people, it was like this. It was like that. Now, if you got to double this bar, you know, there you go. Now, that's about an accurate estimate of how much police are killing blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Go ahead, Ike.
Well, so like just to double down, like just to try to put an optical illusion on the numbers, like they had the blacks, Hispanic, or the number of blacks that were being killed in the country alone by police, you know, a large bar, and then Native Americans slightly smaller,
right,
and then Hispanics slightly smaller, and then just to put an optical illusion in there, they put the total, like the average of like every.
Yeah. I was like, why is this here? Yeah, right. The average is about right there though. So police is on average just killing niggas like this.
Right, but it's the average consists of mostly blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Like the data shows right in front of you. And then
it's white people.
That you're right, white people. You know what I'm saying? But if that wasn't there, you know what I'm saying? It's like it goes from here to like.
Exactly.
Here, right.
And no, what this priest is bringing out is exactly right, man. It's and that all is just to show, and that's in effect what this article is saying. And what you dumb black Republicans so would love to believe, how you're not getting murdered in this country like it's a goddamn shooting. What them games at the carnival? Goddamn shooting stand at the carnival. And Fox News is lying to you about you're getting killed out here, man, in an epidemical level. It's not funny, man. It's not funny, and you're not doing anything to stop it. You're not doing anything to stop it. Just because it's not on the news doesn't mean it's not happening, man. There are so many brothers and sisters that don't get a trend going. It's not funny. It's not funny. Brothers and sisters getting. Man, I remember this one brother last year, naked. It's snowing, and he's mentally ill. Police out there slapping him up, beating him up, drew down on him. He's naked, ain't got no weapon. Literally, you can see through the man, and they goddamn before they arrested him, they beat him up, and he wasn't even fighting them. But because he's black, and because they don't regard the lives of blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, they felt that they could do whatever they wanted with his life. And they did. They didn't look at that man and see that he had mental illness. It was apparent as all day. He's not communicating properly, man. They didn't try to level with him and see and get on equal with him as a man-to-man, human-to-human relationship. They don't give a damn about that. This is after George Floyd. This is after Breonna Taylor. And they're murdering a special needs black man. And you're out here marching. For what? You're out here marching, getting out of the march, smoking weed, having sex with white people. Who the hell needs you marching? Sit your goofy behind on the sidelines and watch as real black men live and die loving black men and women, man. And you know what I'm saying? Vice versa. You want it both ways. You wanna indulge in the things that white men give you, indulge in their pale-skinned bodies, and also love black people. Well, I'm here to tell you, you can't have it both ways. There is a time coming very quickly unto you where a line will be drawn in the sand, and there will be one people on one side and another people on another. By then, I hope you choose. I hope you choose your people, man. I hope you choose that. Go ahead, priest.
It's like it's so heavy because, like, exactly what you're saying. Like, they're not trying to draw the line in the sand. Like, when something happens to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they want to protest and march. But if you see, like, I'm from Cincinnati. Like I had to walk through the city trying to get to work during a protest. And that joke, I wasn't terrified at all. I was not moved.
I was like,
at all.
Hey, excuse me, pardon me.
I was just walking right through their protest. It was so peaceful. Like, it was just so compliant. And it was mostly...
You want us to back up? We'll back up. Slack it, you know what I'm saying?
Like, they wasn't trying to demand nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was for, what was that brother? It was a brother that I actually knew. That brother Sam DeBose. That was killed by that university cop in Cincinnati.
The Asian, was he Asian? The cop? The
cop
was Asian.
Yeah, the cop was Asian. He got killed by a cop that was from the university cop from the University of Cincinnati.
Acting out of his jurisdiction. Or something.
Yeah, and they was protesting because 3 mistrials and this brother still didn't get justice. Like, still to this day, he hasn't gotten justice. And that protest was so mild and so peaceful, and it was mostly white people who didn't give a damn about this brother from the start. And it just goes to show, like, we want the best of both worlds, like you said. Like, we want to look like, we want the appearance of like we care about our brother, but then at the end of the day, we gonna go, and those same people that we were protesting to get justice for our brother, we're going to go get high with them. We're going to the bar and get a drink with them. We're going to sleep with them at the end of the night. Like it.
Right. Damn right, man. Give him a hand. And it goes to show, man, that's what you are. You're mild. Even when you're supposedly fed up and you go out to the streets demanding justice, it's mild. You know, I could drink a glass of water and the white man forgets there was a protest last night.
Right.
That's what you're doing, man. When you need to make dramatic statements, extreme statements, like not smoking weed,
right?
Like not having, never ever having sex with white women. That's a dramatic statement, because white women are the biggest whores I know.
Right.
If you've ever been down there in Austin on 6th Street after camp, you're going to need to beat those white women off you, because they are whores and they have a look of a whore, and that's who my sisters try to embody. That's who Serena Williams is trying to embody. Disgustingly enough, man. That's the opposite of mild, being extreme, not sleeping with these easy, gross, doggish women. What else is extreme? Not sleeping with your brother's wife. Not murdering your brother ever, or allowing your brothers to murder each other, or have some sort of ridiculous internet feud like women. That's extreme. Yeah, you going out there and chanting no justice, no peace, no justice, no peace with white men all throughout the city is about the gayest thing I can think of at the moment. I can't think of too much gayer. Maybe a rainbow. There are rainbow flags out there. Never mind. You're doing the gayest thing about a man murdering your brother in the streets that I can think of to try to reciprocate justice, when you need to be the foundation of justice in your neighborhood, man.
Right.
You go ahead, I slack you.
If I could, it's extreme to hold your oppressor accountable for the crimes that he has committed.
That's right.
Against your people, and then once the cameras are off, treat him just like you called him the devil on camera, and then once the cameras are off, you separate from him as if he is the devil, because he is. That's
Get out of hand, bro. Get out of hand. Y'all, I seen, let me tell you something, man. I have seen Louis Farrakhan call the white man the devil and then kiss a white man in the mouth.
Good night. Right.
He's not extreme. He's very mild. He's a Christian pastor now. I don't know if you Nation of Islam or whatever you'll call yourselves now. I don't know if y'all understand that, but after you get out of prison and you take your kufi off or whatever, realize that you're following a lukewarm man who doesn't really believe in anything than the money you send him.
Right.
Now, maybe once upon a time he might have been extreme. He might have been hardcore, but not anymore. Right now, last thing he's done is kiss a white man in the mouth. and say that there is validity in Scientology. Now, I don't know a man who can say two things and be so lukewarm, and you could count him as extreme or anything like that. Louis Farrakhan doesn't love black people enough, if you ask me. And neither do any of you out there marching and giving your love to the oppressor in any form or fashion, man. Like this priest said, you ought to separate yourself, man. Which is a lot harder than y'all would think. All y'all got, but I like Bobby. We hang out and we play World of Warcraft. Whatever. Love your people more. Love your people more than Bobby. Because your people are owed it. They need it. They deserve it. Bobby, he's doing it because he just has fun on Sundays and Saturdays or whenever you go out and come out and hang out with him. You know what I'm saying? Drink beers with him and do gay things with him. That's just regular to him. Your people need it.
Right.
Like a man in the desert needs a glass of water. Your sisters need it. These sisters are out here destroyed, man. I know a sister was I know a sister, she was out here hated herself in her complexion so much. She was a dark-skinned sister, which personally I like to all you sisters out there. If you dark-skinned and you thinking about calling my captain, you put that call in. but to go on, she was a dark-skinned sister. She didn't really love, she wasn't in love with herself, tried to chase the image of white beauty. Ended up stripping, getting with a white man. And you know what? At the end of the day, she still never found love for herself, which is all she really needed, which is all she was ever really looking for. How to figure out how to love herself, and you need a black man for that. Right. You need a black man for that. A black man gonna show you, you think you pretty? Well, wait till I look at you. I'll show you if you look good or not. Because what you're gonna find in these oppressors is a bunch of yes men, or good night, or abusers. They'll beat your ass to death because they don't think of you as a person. They think of you as a slave and a captive. Where you at in that article? Like, I'm about to wrap this.
Black men are killed by police at disproportionately high rates, and their deaths are mislabeled at higher rates than for any other race, according to the study which was published Thursday.
Read that again.
Their deaths are mislabeled at higher rates.
Their deaths, blacks and Hispanic men's deaths, are mislabeled at higher rates. I wonder why. Keep reading.
Than for any other race, according to the study which was published Thursday in the Lancet, a peer-reviewed medical journal.
Go ahead, Ike. We're gonna close with this.
What's like just Sandra Bland? Like, that's a publicized example of black Hispanics and Native Americans being murdered by the hands of police and it being mislabeled.
That's correct.
Like, she was in prison and died in prison at the hand of black Hispanic, or at the hand of racist white cops, and they said that she committed suicide.
Right.
And she was dead before they even was able to take her mugshot. Like, they broke her neck. They tried, like, her mugshot was taken while she was lying on the ground dead. Like, you could see it in her eyes and in her, like, she was killed by our oppressor.
All the color was gone out of her face.
Right.
Which shows that your blood is there's no oxygen in your blood, which means you stop breathing, which means you're dead. Which is when they took her picture. And then they labeled it as a suicide. which this priest is exactly right about. It is a public. They did it right in our face at a national, worldwide level, and said that this black woman killed herself.
Right.
And you're not gonna tell me she didn't. Now shut up and go in the corner, you black people. That's what they did to us, man. That's what they did to us. Now you want justice you really want justice for Sandra Bland? Stop smoking weed.
Right.
You really want justice for Sandra Bland? Stop having sex with white women. Stop trying to please white people.
Right.
Stop trying to attempting to associate yourself with white people. Searching and seeking status and luxury for what your ideal of happiness is, which is basically just a white lifestyle. You know, you saying Merry Christmas and got the whole yard did up, and then you look at your family and think, I really made it. You really made it white. That's what you really made. And your ancestors and the Lord look down on you, and they're unpleased with your compromise and with your betrayal of your brothers and sisters, man. You're gonna pray for a white Christmas, and Sandra Bland had her neck broke before she got her goddamn picture taken on what they call that? You know, you're getting in. You know what that is? I've been arrested once. Maybe I'm going too deep. but you know what I'm saying? You get your picture taken pretty goddamn quick.
Right.
It's one of the first things that happens.
They don't even,
It's right after they put the cuffs on, they drive you to the place and take your picture. She was dead before that. And with that, I'm gonna pass it. Go ahead, Calculator.
Real quick. Like, we don't know any black, Hispanic, and Native American who has so-called white friends. You don't know your white friends, and it's because we are lukewarm. You know what I'm saying? Okay. You are not going to know your so-called white friends until you decide that, look, I am going to love blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans because they are the only people who don't have love. And watch them choose a side. Once you actually decide to be hot or cold and be like, look, I love blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and they're the only people who are going to get my love because you don't need my love, white man.
Let me tell you something.
Watch them.
Go ahead.
Watch them choose a side. They're either going to separate from you and show you that they are the goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of, like we've been telling blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, or they are going to bow at your feet. Right. And they're going to pour their money into your bank account. They're going to pour their money into your cause. And they're going to try to serve you before Christ makes them serve you. Salaki, I just want to bring that up.
Get that man, because he's right. Let me tell you something. You want the respect of your white friends, truly. You want the respect. You want them to stop, making you the dog when y'all dress up to be Scooby-Doo on Halloween.
Good man. Right.
Tell them Jesus Christ is black. Tell them God only came and died for blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. And tell them that the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
And you'll get their respect, trust me. That's what we do. We do that very well in here. We get that respect. And to this brother's point, in the world, when you're doing all sorts of things you shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? You're hanging out with all sorts of people you shouldn't hang out with.
Right.
I might have had some pale-skinned fellows that I hung out with. And I came into this truth, man, and I told them, man, I told them those things that I told you to tell them. And I got more respect from them than I ever cared to have, in fact. I had their respect before, but goddamn, after that, they, like this priest said, they goddamn was worshiping my feet. But for me, I want more. I want fields. There are fields in the future that need to be plowed.
Right.
If you know what I mean. Now with that, I'm gonna pass the class over to Priest and Officer Calvin.
These are the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and in Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Ma'ashara means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest funds, the free will offering for priests, is not mandatory. It's whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. We have the Feast of Purim, the 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month. Monday, the 14th of February, and Tuesday, the 15th of February of 2022. In Esther chapter 19, verse 20 through 31. Remind Akim and Akwati to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. Boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And this concludes ISUPK security announcements.
All right. With that, Men of Israel, Amaju, which means to stand in Hebrew. Sar, turn and face the east. We're about to do the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew and in English. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim.
Kodash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malakukah. Dawah. Ratazaka. Hayah. Ashab. Ba'aratazah. Kawa. Hayah. Bashamayim.
Nathanawa.
Lakom. Ko. Yawam. Wasalakno. Kawatino. Kasalatno. Kawatino. Wala. Tawaya. Banasai 1. Abo. Hawashayno. Mayan. Ra. Kaya. Laka. Amalakwa. Wahala. La'alamu. Aman.
In the English. Our Father.
Our Father.
Which art in heaven.
Hallowed
be thy name.
Yahweh.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy
will be done.
In
the earth.
As
it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. All right. Sar, turn and face the brothers. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers and sisters. The brothers first. Men of Israel. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine Barak. Shaw, turn and face the sisters. All right. Men of Israel. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine Barak. Yadimata, dismissed.